Beautiful club at Shadow Lake. Seems like every time I come here, you're up to something. And I caught him before he even got a chance to take a shower today, folks. He's been working hard all day. This is kind of like a bit of a down day here because the mixed grill just closed, pro shop getting ready to close, but you got a whole lot of people out on the course, and this is a day of rest for you guys, and you don't get many of them, but you really love what you do. But it is all about maintenance, and really every day is a new day, right?
Oh, absolutely. And right now, because of the changing weather conditions, we went from, a tremendous amount of rain last week to low humidity. Now all of a sudden the humidity's back high again with high temperatures. So now you go from a situation where you get really concerned about disease. And so every day is a new day under these conditions with humidity and the heat. Sometimes you got to back off with the water. Other times you got to put it on, and then couple that with the fact of the spray, the fungicides, insecticides, herbicides, you name it. It's every day is a new day.
So this is where that Penn State degree really comes in handy.
Right.
All right, look, Arnold Palmer. It is half and half tea, half lemonade at Coons Market, and of course, Sheets Convenience Store. And I know how much Steve Sheets loves talking golf, so we're going to do that right now. Speaking of Arnie, actually won the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale. But this is the golf course in the United Kingdom in the northwest of England, located in Southport. And it is one of the clubs in rotation for both the Open Championship and the Women's Open British Championship, obviously. And it has hosted the Open Championship 9 times from 1954 to 2008, with the 10 scheduled in 2017, of course, starting this Thursday. Winners of the Open on this course include Padraig Harrington, Marco Mira, who's going to be in that very first group teeing off at a little after 1 a.m. our time, and you can watch it on the Golf Channel. Ian Baker Finch, Tommy Watson, Johnny Miller, Lee Trevino, Arnold Palmer, and Peter Thompson did it twice. Royal Birkdale hosted the women's tournament for a 6th time in 2014 and was the site of the Senior Open Championship in 2013. It also hosted the Ryder Cup in 65 and 69, the Walker Cup in 51, and the Curtis Cup in 1948. Other courses in the Open rotation near Liverpool are Royal Liverpool, along with Royal Latham and St. Anne's Golf Club. It was established in 1889, private course, 18 holes, and it's par 70, 7,173 yards. So when you look at this course, founded about 128 years ago, it's a links course. Being that you're a manager of the grounds and you got a little bit of that links action going here, and we had a chance last time we were out to show the folks some of that. But when you have to manicure a links course, is it as difficult because it's not really as manicured and it's more driven by nature than by architects? So tell me about being a groundskeeper at a place like Royal Birkdale. What really goes into it?
Well, I think that brings on a whole new host of challenges. Obviously, you don't have the heat to deal with like you do over here, or the humidity, so you don't have the dangers of or susceptibility to the diseases like you do here. But on the other hand, they don't have the extensive drainage system like we do over here. So what they have to do is a lot more labor involved in getting a course ready for something of the magnitude of the Open.
When you think about these golfers, and we're going to be talking about some of the favorites and just really the top 10 that I believe, and I'm hoping that he agrees, and I'm sure has a few of his own, who I think will be in contention for this thing. You've been playing the last few months, unless you're on the European tour, you've been playing traditional courses, and we've all, seen these courses in recent months on the Golf Channel, and now all of a sudden, and especially the weather is always challenging, you're kind of thrust into that. Do you really have to change the way you play the game? Does the practice rounds mean a lot more getting ready for that tee time Thursday? But from someone who's seen so many of the great golfers and worked with many of them, including Jack Nicklaus, what's the approach heading towards the Open Championship and a links course when, for most of these golfers, especially from the United States, they haven't seen anything like that this year?
That's you're absolutely correct, and it is so important to be able to read these greens, and the Americans are at a distinct disadvantage because of the fact that they're not playing these courses like the Europeans. So they only have a certain amount of time to get over here, and I know that some of the guys like Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus years ago, they would skip a PGA Tour event or two just to get over early and prepare for the Open Championship, because it took that much more time to read not just the greens, but the green approaches. And like I said last time about the ground game, there's shots where rather than everything's aerial, you're chipping it up in the air. There's a lot more of skipping across the fairway and in between these pop bunkers. And there's shots that you have to produce in the Open Championship that you will never use in the United States.
All right, and before we head on out on the course and kind of break this thing down and give you some of our thoughts, by the way, tomorrow night, Casa de Emanuel, he's now at Seminole, but for many years the director of golf at Oakmont and the pro there, Bob Ford, with his thoughts. And then Wednesday night, along with some politics, a guy who loves a great game of golf, he's a professor from Franklin and Marshall College, will be at Legacy Studios, Dr. Terry Madonna. And then more with Jimmy Equals from the Beaver Allegheny County Times. Do I ever get a day off? Beaver Allegheny County Times, Thursday night at the Brighton Hot Dog Shop. I just saw former state representative, good guy, longtime friend, has done so much for this region, especially with that community college of Beaver County. Nick Caulifella and his grandson here, Nick as well, getting ready to go out and play some golf. Do you realize what a gift you and Mr. Manganello have given this region and his wonderful wife and daughters? This is a spectacular place, and I've been wanting to show you the pool, this amenity, for a long time, but these are just some of the things. And you've got beautiful homes going up around here, new home construction, and you've turned this course into a crown jewel. And the restaurant is like second to none. You've got the pro shop, you've got the mixed grill, you've got a venue that can hold just about any type of event you're looking to hold, and you've got Art Manji, maybe the best chef, not just in our region, but in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. What
Absolutely.
A special place, huh?
Oh, I'm telling you, speaking of art, I've built, designed, renovated courses all over the country. And I'll tell you what, when it comes to the food that's prepared here, I've never eaten at anything better than here. I can honestly say that.
Well, being that it's Monday, Art's not around, so I was over at Coons Market and had a couple pieces of fried chicken, so I'm good to go. Now, links course. Explain to the audience exactly what it is, and when you're watching the Golf Channel this weekend, you're going to have an idea of what you're going to be looking at, because for most people, golf course is a golf course, especially the casual golfer or someone just loves it. But there's a huge difference when you go from traditional golf into the place that we call home, the United States, and the European Tour, and especially when it comes to links golf. So explain to the audience what they're going to be seeing Thursday and for the entire weekend on the Golf Channel.
Okay, first of all, a links course, the routing of a links course is completely different than a traditional golf course. And without having a blackboard to go into detail, it is a completely different routing plan. But also keep in mind that the links course is actually where golf was developed. That's where it originated, on the links land, okay? And so, we had taken the game from the British Isles and then kind of morphed it into something more to our own liking. The links course, to me, is my most favorite type of golf course for a number of reasons. Number one, it's a little bit more penal than your typical manicured American course. There's strategy. You probably the biggest thing I think, or anything else, is you've got to use every club in your bag on a links course. You're going to be playing not just from the center of the fairways, like most courses. You're playing literally from the edges, and you're going to be using different shots, different clubs, because your hazards are sporadically placed throughout the whole fairway, not just to funnel you into the center of the fairway where you have, a safe haven. You've got old-fashioned cross bunkers, you've got your traditional pop bunkers peppered throughout the middle of the fairway, so it really makes out for an interesting venue.
All right, we'll leave you on this note, then we'll move on out to the course and get ready to talk more about the Open Championship. It begins 1:30 in the morning on Thursday. Of course, the Golf Channel will be there live all week. Founded 128 years ago at Birkdale Golf Club in 1889, the club was awarded royal status in 1951. Birkdale Golf Club moved to its new site in Birkdale Hills in 1894 and was built a new distinctive deco clubhouse around it in 1935. In early 1939, Birkdale was nominated as the venue for the 1940 championship, but the Second World War started in September of 39, and the championship was canceled. In 1946, the club finally hosted its first big championship in the amateur championship, won by Irishman Jimmy Buren. During the immediate post-war, the club hosted the 1948 Curtis Cup and the 1951 Walker Cup, both won by the United States. With these successful stagings of important events, Royal Birkdale was felt to be ready for its first Open Championship in 1945, and that tradition has continued to this day, and it'll be the 146th edition of the Open Championship, teeing off Thursday morning, Royal Birkdale, and we're going to talk about the pretenders and contenders next. Elwood Willard and I, the manager of the grounds, we are poolside here at the club at Shadow Lakes.